Mayor, may I start the recording? Okay. Mayor, we're ready whenever you are.
Okay, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 6:02 PM. Unless we go off of that one. So for the record, all members of council are here. Councilor Vasquez has asked for an excused absence. Is there any objection?
Objection.
Without objection, we can go ahead and excuse her. And for the record, all members of staff are here with the exception of Chief Hobrick, who emailed us today and said he wasn't going to be able to make it. He's feeling under the weather. We wish him all well and a speedy recovery. I believe that Chief Lehman is on Zoom with us today, and so is City Attorney Julie Norton.
Correct.
There you are. Thank you, Jackie. Okay. All right, council, we're going to go ahead and move into agenda approval, but we're going to go ahead and, oh, I'm getting way ahead of myself today, y'all. So I tend to go off of what is printed in front of me and
Yeah, we do.
It is.
We do the agenda approval.
oh, we do the agenda approval. Okay, so we do the event. Okay, so we're right. Thank you, Councilmember Galvan. It's okay. We're still just trying to get in order. So we are going to go into the agenda approval, and we are amending the agenda to add the amendment of the classification and compensation schedule. Should I give it over to Monica? So for some explanation on
I
that?
can go into explanation when we discuss the item. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Staff is requesting to amend the agenda to add the classification and compensation schedule.
Counselor Galvan, just I know you.
I'm okay with adding that. I wanted to move item D and E into active agenda, but without Chief Holbrook being here, I do want to make a motion to table those items, D and E, in the consent agenda.
And add the amendment, right, to the classification and compensation?
Yeah.
So you want to move the D and E from the consent agenda? Do you want to move it
I-
into the active agenda?
I
or-
wanted it to move it, but he's not here, so
Yeah.
I want to table those.
I agree
two
with,
items.
I actually agree with that. Okay,
We have a motion.
so do we have a motion?
Counselor Galvan motion. We just need a second.
I'll second that.
Second.
Okay, so motion by Counselor Galvan, and then I got a second. I believe you beat him just by a little bit, Deputy Mayor Hart. Now is there discussion?
Just to.
Go ahead,
just
Deputy
add
Mayor.
That I agree with Mr. Councilor Galvan that we should have a couple of questions regarding the ambulance EMT monies and also that particular classification. So I agree that we should table that.
Any other comments? Councilmember Dolan?
I'd like to see it tabled for at least 6 months.
Tabled, okay. Any other comments?
Sorry, guys, I have no voice, but I agree with tabling.
Okay. There was a comment from Counselor Dolan to table for 6 months, but I believe the motion was to table
Table.
up until, is it indefinitely or to the next
I guess, do you want me to?
meeting?
No, well, just to the next meeting, it's fine.
Okay,
I agree with that.
okay, so you're going to stick with your initial motion?
Yeah.
Okay, so no amendment is required? Counselor Chavez, did you have a comment?
No, I'm
Heard
good.
you reaching into your, okay.
We move it to next meeting.
Okay. Any other comments, counselors? Okay, so hearing no more discussion, I'll go ahead and initiate a roll call. Counselor Dolan,
Here.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Counselor Galvan,
Yes.
Counselor Vasquez is not here, Counselor Sasati,
Yes.
Counselor Chavez,
Yes.
I too vote yes for tabling said items and adding the amendment of the classification and compensation schedule. So motion carries. Okay, so now moving on to invocation. Is there anybody here to do an invocation? There you are. Go ahead and approach the podium. Those who are wanting to and able to, go ahead and stand for the invocation, and please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
This is how I pray. Thank you, our Heavenly Father, for this day. Thank you, Lord, that we can gather here today. We give thanks for all these elected men and women who give of their time to serve our community of Sunnyside. We pray for a blessing upon each of these leaders and surround them with your peace and grant them the wisdom and clarity as they make decisions that reflect the needs and hope of our community. Lord, we pray that these elected officials may work in unity with purpose of striving for common good of all the citizens they represent. Lord, may all the words used tonight at this meeting serve to inspire and uplift everyone. Lord, we pray that the hearts of all may be filled with compassion. We pray for discernment and clarity. We pray that the deliberation be marked with integrity and fueled by desire for justice and peace. We pray, Lord, that these officials may face strength and courage in their responsibilities, always remembering to serve with humility and love. We thank you for all these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we will now be moving on to public comments. Citizens wishing to address the council must limit their comments to items listed on the agenda and are allotted no more than 3 minutes. The council may refer matters to staff for review and or research and may schedule them for consideration at a future meeting. So just to reiterate, we now have 2 sections for public comment. I believe that Jackie's created the sign-up sheet with an item for you to indicate which subject you're going to be doing public comment for. I'll go ahead and just call by name and then make sure that the initial public comments are germane to any item on the agenda. And correct me if I'm wrong, Councilmember Galvan, but the final public comment is going to be regarding any
Correct.
that's free range public comment. So, but that won't happen until the end of the meeting.
Correct.
Thank you. I remember going through the Zoom rules and we kind of missed this a little bit last time we were here. But I'll go ahead and José Luis Asati, ¿va a ser comentario público sobre una algo particular en la agenda o es general? ¿Es general? Ok. So nos vamos a tener que esperar hasta al final de la agenda y ahorita vamos a tomar los comentarios que son solamente para los items de la agenda. ¿Está bien? Ok, no se vaya. Ok. Teodora Martinez, is your public comment towards an item on the agenda today? Was it regarding an agenda item? The last one? Okay. Could we allow that?
It says listed on this agenda.
Listed on this agenda? Okay, so you can go ahead and do that at the end, since I believe the rules and procedures around this are for items that are presented before us today. Is that okay? Yeah, thank you. I know this is a little bit new to all of us right now, so we're just getting used to it. But don't leave either. And then the last item, or the last name on our list is Vicky Ripley. The same at the end? Okay. So we will go ahead and proceed with the consent agenda.
Copy of it for me here.
Council, is there anything else that we would like to remove from the consent agenda, or any questions pertaining to the consent agenda?
Oh, I do have one notation to make as far as the consent agenda. That was regarding the not the payroll, but the claim vouchers, which you will be reading here in a minute. But I'll wait and let you do that first, and then I can comment on that.
Okay. So consent agenda, approve minutes of the previous meetings, approve payroll vouchers numbers 1055 through 1383, and wire transfers listed for $690,681.01 for the period ending in February 2026. Approve claim voucher numbers 1271 through 1519, and wire transfers is listed for $785,575 for the period ending, and 22 cents for the period ending on February 2026. Okay, questions, comments?
Madam Mayor.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
We, the Finance Committee, Society and myself met on Thursday, I believe it was Thursday afternoon, with Monica Hofstetter, our Finance Director. And we went over each of the accounts payable, sorry, the words just whipped out of my mouth there. But in any case, we did examine each of the items that were going to be paid out of tonight from the numbers that you read. There were only a couple that we had a little bit of interest in, and it turns out that they were pretty simple. The one was, there was a $600 transaction it was a membership for the law enforcement. And then there was another for $720 for a refundable permit fee from 2023 that hadn't been refunded, has now been adjusted. And another one for $4,046.57. And it was for training for a new water supervisor. And another one for $509,095.50 for a wastewater vehicle, which had been in an accident and is being repaired. And then a third one for $795 for chemicals for the waste treatment plant. All others were found to be reasonable and within budget, and marked for the budget that they were supposed to come out of. And it's our aim as a finance committee to go over each at least twice a month with the finance director as these come out. So maybe we can catch anything there that looks like it might be questionable, but that's our aim, is to do that pre ahead. And if there are ones that we have questions on, we'll bring it to the council. But that's I just wanted to point that out. We're doing that a little bit differently.
Thank you for the update, Deputy Mayor Hart. Any other comments? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through C.
I'll make a motion to approve the,
Go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do I get a second?
I second that.
Okay. Is there discussion? Saw a hand up. Go ahead, Counselor Dolan.
I was curious about item number 1485. The only thing on there says litigation. Is there any more details than that?
I'll have to refer to Monica.
I'll have to pull up the claims. It'll be a minute.
Would you say it was 14 what?
85.
1485. Now these are by account numbers. Let's see here. These are the accounts payable. Transaction numbers. That's one more. Okay, 44, 95, 80.
That is the union employee attorney. So he does any kind of louder mills, any union negotiations. So that would be with our union representative.
Oops, that's upside down. Did you have any?
1496.
That is the Sallyport door for the police department. That's fixing the door at the police station.
Oh, it's just a misprint in it.
Lisa, pretty sure it said Sallyport on it.
Yeah.
Hoist. Hoist.
Oh, she misspelled the word.
Yeah.
The
I
notes.
read the word that was supposed to be there, so
Mm.
Sallyport.
Thank you, Councilmember Dolan. Any other items for discussion? Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing none, I'll go ahead and initiate the roll call. Counselor Dolan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Counselor Galvan,
Yes.
Counselor Sasati,
Yes.
Counselor Chavez.
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion carries.
Just as an aside, we get Letty with yes, and then we get, oh. That's really exciting down there.
She needs some tea.
Yeah, I should have brought you some tea.
All right, moving on to the active agenda. We'll go ahead and kick off our active agenda with item A, Municipal Engineering Services Contract Award. Approve a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to execute an agreement with HLA Engineering and Land Surveying to provide municipal services to the city of Sunnyside for fiscal year 2026 through 2028. And is this your item, Hector?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. So city staff has solicited statements of qualifications for municipal engineering service to continue the following functions. We had two SOQs that put in for it. One was HLA. The second was Gray and Osborne. I went through both proposals from them, rated them, and obviously with all that I had conducted all the points, HLA did come out just on top. They had a little bit more qualifications due to they have planning that we work with them, and the planning that they have on their firm, and aviation, where Gray and Osborne did not. So these are some of the qualifications that we asked for: was water and sewer system, surveying and mapping, site development, project bidding, construction administration and inspection, project funding assistance and grant administrations, planning services, aviation services. And as of right now, HLA is currently the engineer of record for the city of Sunnyside and has provided these services identified above as directed by city staff. my staff's recommendation is we motion to authorize the interim city manager to execute an agreement with HLA Engineering and Land Surveying to provide multiple municipal engineering services to the city of Sunnyside for the fiscal year of 2026 through 2028. And I am here to answer any questions if you have any.
Counselors, any questions? Deputy Mayor, I think you had.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, Counselor Galvan.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Deputy Mayor, go ahead.
Well, my question was maybe the same one that you have is what is the contract going to be looking like as far as, I don't see a number here.
Yeah,
Where? Huh? So where did you see that? Is it in here?
If
Go
I can
ahead.
help, there should be a rate scale based, and it's going to be based on the hours of the services performed,
should.
for the work performed. It's not for a particular project, it's for on-call services.
Whoops, sorry. I may have just overlooked it down here. So for the Exhibit A schedule of rates? Okay. And there's a little bit further down here, but would you mind just mentioning that, Hector, for the record? I lost it again, I think.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's quite a bit. If
go.
you're looking on the screen, there's all those.
okay. And that's
So I know, moving forward, if you guys allow us to, if there are some more work that obviously I've talked to my supervisors with, be helping out more on inspections to lower the costs on some of the inspections that obviously what is, they will be provided by HLA. Whatever we can do in-house, we are willing to take care of it. And I believe HLA is always willing to help out.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thanks for pointing it out on the hourly.
Councilmember Galvan.
Have we always had 2-year contracts with them, or is it?
It's a 3-year contract. I've checked there's a minimum or a maximum of 3 years with the minimum of a year. So.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
Well, there's unless somebody else has a question
Yeah,
first.
does anybody else have a question? Oh, Councilmember Dolan, go ahead.
It says 26, 28.
Yeah, there's
26, 27, 28. Oh, our contract ended in 2025. So I've counting 26, 27, 28. So that was the 3 years.
3 years.
If you would like to do 29,
Yeah,
but if our contract ended in 26 and 25, I was counting this year as 1 year, 27 as the second year, 28 as the third year. Because our contract ended in 25, but we extended their contract due to we didn't have any RSQs at the time.
And if that changes, do we,
I believe we can amend, I can bring it back to council and see if they would like to amend it. So
okay,
yeah.
I yield back.
Other comments?
I was
Go
just
ahead,
going to
Deputy
address the comment about amending it. If you want to add time at the outset, we can ask them to amend the term. If you get to the end of the term and want to add time, we can also ask them to extend the term for an additional year at whatever rates they're charging in that year. So there's flexibility.
Thank you, Julie.
go ahead.
I have a question.
Dr.
So will these rates apply every year at the same rate, or are we going to have an increase in those?
So those rates, I believe, are off the state's rates of what's being asked for. But that is a good question. I can check into that and find out and get you an answer.
Okay.
Based on that form, they're advertising them as their 26 rates, which should suggest that they could potentially raise them annually each year. I don't recall if there was an automatic COLA adjustment in the agreement itself, but most professionals reserve the right to raise their rates annually during the term of the contract.
Thank you. Stephanie Ray's here from HLA. Go ahead and
Mayor, members of
enlighten us.
council, Public Works Director, thank you for having me here tonight. And also, I'm happy to answer your question. So typically our rates do increase generally around 3% each year. And as that's a standard across the board. We also, and yes, there are a lot of categories up there. And generally, when we are working on a project, especially one that's funded, the category that we have has to match the work that we're performing. So that's why you see so many categories up there. But to answer your question, historically, HLA has only increased around 3% each year.
Go ahead, Counselor.
Is that listed on the contract? Because where I'm seeing, where you were reading that it could increase, January 1st, it doesn't say a percentage.
No, that's just our historical. We generally don't have a actual set percentage in there like you would find in a union negotiation for a COLA, but that's generally what we follow. And as is every professional AE service out there.
So, but technically, if I may,
Go ahead.
but technically, if HLA wanted to, they could say 5%, right?
We could, and that's a great comment. On the private side, we also have to be careful about not pricing ourselves out of the business. We want to stay competitive with everybody else. So it wouldn't necessarily be in our best interest to add additional rates where someone else can say, well, I was going to say deputy mayor, but Councilmember Galvan, they could say, well, hey, we're only charging this amount. And granted, that level of negotiation is actually outside of selection for AE services. But at the end of the day, Mr. Mejia was mentioning 3 years. So there is a potential for 26, 27, 28, but it really is the nominal around 3% is all I've seen.
And if I can add for the council, if they were to increase the rates significantly, not only would they be pricing themselves out in some cases, but it would give you the opportunity to decide whether you wanted to terminate the contract early. So it's unlikely you'll see anything significant or out of the usual.
Go ahead, Counselor Chavez.
So if we do it for a 3-year contract, does that contract stands on that, or we can amend that also?
You can amend the contract. Once you actually enter into the contract, then you have something to amend to. Also, by entering into this agreement, it doesn't preclude the city from doing another request for qualifications. So if we are in 6 months and whatever time frame you want to enter, and if the city wants to entertain a new statement of qualifications, you can certainly do that.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
Oh, I was looking to George over here. So basically, one of the reasons for to continue with HLA is that your company has been integral in many of our projects over the last 3 years, and I think maybe 3 years before that. You've worked with us for a number of years, is what I'm trying to say.
We have been your city engineer for 13 years.
See, that's what I was thinking.
I started with you in 2013.
And I think just if I may, just as a whole, I believe we've been pretty satisfied with the results of those projects that the company has worked with us on. Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other comments? Otherwise, could I entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve I'd like to be able to read it, but now I'm lost in the shuffle here. Okay, it's right here. Hang on a minute. Let me just say that some days your fingers don't want to work.
Would you like me to read it for you?
Huh? Would you read it for me, please, Hector?
Ms. Hart would like to make a motion to authorize the interim city manager to execute an agreement with HLA Engineering and Land Surveying to provide municipal services to the city of Sunnyside for the fiscal year of 2026 through 2028.
Thank you for reading that for me.
You're welcome.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been motioned by Deputy Mayor Hart, and then a second by Councilmember Galvan. Any other discussion? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and do a roll call. Counselor Galvan,
Yes.
Counselor Cesati,
Yes.
Counselor Dolan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Counselor Chavez,
Yes.
and I too vote yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
How do I get?
Okay, moving on to the next item on the agenda, and this one has to do with safe routes to school funding application. So approve a resolution authorizing the interim city manager to submit a funding application to the Safe Routes to School Funding Program. And I believe he's on the line. Chief Lehman, would you like to speak to this? Or would it be you, Okay,
I'm sorry, this
Go
would be
ahead.
Hector and HLA. I'm sorry.
Thank you for that.
So the Safe Route to School Funding Program through the Washington State Department of Transportation, has called for projects. The intent for the Safe Route School program is to make the transportation improvements within a 2-mile radius of a school to improve access to schools. The program is currently offering a 100% grant. The application will be scored by WashDOT, and if successful, the project will be added to the 2027 transportation budget. The city has been diligent pursuing funding to replace non-compliant ADA ramps and sidewalks, and 70 ramps that have been replaced since 2024. Based on the evaluation with the ADA transition plan, there remains 1,568 missing and non-compliant ramps. This funding application is to replace 28 ramps in Lincoln Avenue and 16th Street, where immediately near schools. The application also includes construction of missing sidewalk along Don Hughes Parks. Staff would make a motion to authorize the interim city manager to submit the funding application to the School Routes to School Funding Program. And I am here to answer any questions.
Counselors, any questions? Go ahead, Counselor Galvan.
So we've been replacing some of these sidewalks for the past 2 years or so, 3 years?
Yes, sir.
Is this a different, I guess, funding program?
It is a reoccurring, so this funding is what we had last year to get some of the sidewalks replaced. So this is a new call to projects, so this would be a new funding for.
But it just sounds different, the Safe Routes to School funding program. It is different, right?
Yes, members of council again.
Yes, Stephanie.
Councilmember Gavan, thank you for your question. So last year we did 2 applications. We did submit to the Safe Route to School, but then we also submitted to TIB Complete Streets Program. And ultimately the TIB Complete Streets Program funded the work from last year. We did submit an application, however, it did not rank high enough at the DOT level for the same project for Safe Route to School. So this project is a continuation of what you've seen in the last couple of years.
If I may.
Go ahead.
So if we don't rate high again with the Safe Routes to School funding program, is potential for TIB to fund the project as well?
Absolutely. So Safe Route to School, they do a call every year, and we will know around June, July timeframe. We'll get notification from the WashDOT, and it's actually through their active transportation program group to come out and do a walkthrough. About that same time, TIB will have a call for projects, also for complete streets, along with grind and overlays and something called UAP, which is a massive reconstruction type project. And so we would recommend Safe Route to School at first, and if you're not successful, also TIB. The benefit for Safe Route to School is 100% grant, whereas TIB has a match requirement at 15%.
Match it. I'm sorry.
Any other
Match.
questions? Deputy Mayor?
The match was at 15?
For the Transportation Improvement Board, so the TIB program is 15%. Safe Route to School is 0%.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Counselor
So-
Galvan. It seems like nobody else.
So you said that the reason that they haven't funded us is because we haven't rated high, right? Is there any plans to change? We can get rated a little bit higher, or?
Yes, so your question is really good. And it's the difference between how the funding programs work. So WashDOT funding is statewide. So you're competing with projects in Seattle and Olympia and Spokane, much larger communities. The ramps that are selected in this application, and I know you're very active, involved in the community. The ramps selected, some of these don't even exist, where folks are just walking off the curb. And then that combined with Don Hughes Park, we'll be adding around 200 feet of sidewalk. You know, that's as competitive as we can make it. We can't, though, really compete with the larger metropolitan areas, where TIB, by comparison, their funding is more regional. They're split up into different regions throughout the state, and each state gets a chunk of that money. So with TIB, you're only really competing with those cities within your region.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Nice.
Any other questions? Counselor Dolan?
The 1,568 ramps that are non-compliant, is that the whole project?
No, replacing 1,500 ramps, you're looking at millions of dollars. And I wish I had that kind of money. I can give it to you, but I don't. It's going to take several years to get there. So the city around 2022, 2023, we did a self-evaluation plan. We literally walked every sidewalk and ramp with throughout the city. And throughout the city, citywide, with the 2 projects that you've already completed, you have 1,568 ramps left to go.
And so we're looking at 28 to try to finish for this application.
Yeah, and to allude to Councilmember Galvan's question about being competitive, the 28 ramps along with the sidewalk puts the cost estimate around $600,000, which in our world, we kind of call that a sweet spot, I guess you could say. You know, we don't want to go in for $24 million, which is the total of the program. We want to kind of put that into context with what everyone else has submitted as well.
Any other questions, counselors?
And the nice thing is this will help out the schools, you know, being so near the sidewalks, you know, that a lot of the children walk to school. So
I have a question.
Counselor
So
Travis?
I know we had, as a community member, I had concerns on how we built those, and the timeline was way off. We're building them during school hours. Kids are walking over some dangerous. How are you guys going to fix this time?
Yes. So the first project we had actually happened at the very tail end of school. The project last year was when school was out. And so this funding also would be when school is out. Now, this particular funding program, SRTS, you won't actually receive the money until 2027. And so this would be June of 2027 work when school's out.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
And it seemed like that this last year went a lot smoother than the previous year when we worked on it. So that's in your favor as well, doing it during the summer. And it seems to me that most of the work is going to be happening on the north side of Lincoln. Is that correct?
The vast majority of work will be on the north side of Lincoln. We did evaluate the ADA ramps on the south side as well. And there are ramps there. They're not as failing as significant as the north side.
Okay.
And plus the north side ties into Don Hughes Park. So we're able to promote some of the recreational improvements there. And then going up 16th, most of the ramps are on the west side of the roadway. We have already done the east side of 16th with the canal piping project.
Counselor Chavez?
What's your time frame on this?
So if the funding is successful, we would hear back from WashDOT around June, July of 2026. WashDOT internally, they have a goal of getting all their agreements out by the end of 2026. So you'd see an agreement to be executed around January of 2027. And then following that agreement, we'd be entering into a task order to actually design the work. The money will be coming to us. It can come 2 different ways. It can be state money or it can be federal money. But every time we work with WashDOT, we have to do something called obligation, where we actually get the money in kind of WashDOT's world. That way you can utilize it. And so you'd be taking about 6 months or so to work through the WashDOT process. And then in June of 2027 would be your construction timeline. These projects have been taking about 25 to 30 days, contractor work days to complete.
So we'll be good with doing it during the summer then and completing it, starting it during the summer and then completing it, having it done before school starts so we don't have what we had a
No,
couple years back.
right. We agree. And for us, I mean, it adds so much more work for us. And you know, it's absolutely inconvenience and not safe for the kids. On the contractor side, we require them to protect the concrete, meaning that we don't want the kids riding in it and putting their handprints. So it creates quite a problem for the contractor as well.
Are you saying when the kids are out?
Yes.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Counselor Dolan.
I had a question about your number one item on the engineer's opinion of construction costs. It says minor change up there at the top. What is that change orders in the project or?
No, that's more in the unforeseen conditions. And let me give you the best example that happened at 16th and Lincoln. When we were doing that, we started to remove the curb to put in an ADA ramp. And we found a buried and abandoned fiber vault that we had to move because we didn't know it was there. So it's a mechanism, it's a minor change item is identified in the WashDOT standard specifications. And it just gives a pathway, lack of a better word, to handle incurred costs during construction without formally doing a change order with the contractor.
Thank you. And you have at the end, permanent signing and pavement markings.
Mhm.
What would the pavement markings be?
So if you open up any of those site plans, so when we do ADA ramps, we will destroy the crosswalks. So crosswalk markings and stop bars are under pavement markings and striping. Most of Sunnyside's markings are painted, and we actually put back thermoplastic that will last several years.
I yield back.
Thank you. Any other comments for Stephanie or for Hector? Otherwise, could I entertain a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Any other discussion? Moved by Counselor Galvan, seconded by Counselor Hart. No discussion? Okay, I'll go ahead and initiate a roll call. Counselor Dolan,
Yes.
Counselor Galvan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Counselor Chavez,
Yes.
Counselor Sasati.
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Okay. Next item on the agenda is C, reassigning WCIA alternate delegate. Approve a resolution reassigning the City of Sunnyside's WCIA alternate delegate designation from the city clerk, Jacqueline Renteria, to HR generalist Heath Anderson. And is this you, Chief Lehman?
This would be Jacqueline Renteria. She'll be able to explain this.
Okay. Go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, one moment. So we are part of WCIA. They are our insurance risk pool. We have a delegate and an alternate. Your delegate right now is Monica Hofstetter, and I am your alternate. Basically, we stay on top of just a bunch of surveys that they ask us for, workers' comp hours, monitoring compliance, risk management, annual assessments, claims for damages. I think I already said that. And we just need to reassign, since I will be leaving the city, assign this to Heath Anderson. He's our HR generalist at this time. And there will be, at this time, no changes to Monica, but I will let, if you have any questions or if there is anything else that needs to be addressed, you can do so at this time.
Council members, any comments, questions for Jackie? Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
Just one question. It's the risk pool, the insurance risk pool, organization, state organization. Do you guys have to travel or meet on some sort of regular basis or?
Yes, there are meetings, the full board meetings that we would have to attend. There are some trainings. There was one that was out of state. So I'm not sure what the requirements or who will attend those now, but there is one training out of state. There are trainings available to staff that are for like supervisors that just help the city with their staff.
Okay.
Go ahead, Counselor Galvan.
Does Mr. Anderson know I guess the responsibilities and what entices, make sure that we're not missing any deadlines like we did last year and, we received a fine. Is he on board with taking this on?
Yes, I believe he is, right? Monica talked to him. She's his supervisor, and you are correct that whoever is assigned needs to make sure that they're aware of the deadlines. Former staff that was assigned delegates and alternates may have missed a few deadlines, but with Monica and I, we worked well together. And so she has a calendar that WCIA provided, and she made assignments to all the staff members of what they need to do. And the last task, Monica, do you want to talk about the last task that they assigned to payroll about submitting hours and how that one was already taken care of and submitted?
Yeah, by the end of February, the payroll hours had to be submitted, and then Jafet will be doing the IT one, and he's been assigned that task. So there's IT information for making sure we have secure IT. So he has a whole process that he's going to be doing, and then we have on the schedule the annual assessment that'll be coming through, and I believe it's going to be with our Parks Department this year. And so Hector and the Parks team will be working through that liability assessment as well.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? No? Hearing none. Could I entertain a motion?
Move to approve?
Is there a second?
Second.
That was
Mr.
Tom Dolan, or Counselor Dolan, right? Okay. Gonna call you Mister. Okay, motioned by Counselor Galvan, second by Councilmember Dolan. I'll go ahead and initiate the roll call now. Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Counselor Dolan,
Yes.
Counselor Galvan,
Yes.
Counselor Sasati,
Yes.
Counselor Chavez,
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion carries. Okay. Item D on the agenda, Arts Commission Rock Painting and Movie in the Park events. Approve a resolution authorizing the city of Sunnyside to sponsor the Arts Commission Rock Painting and Movie in the Park events, including authorization for staff support, purchase of supplies, and payment of required movie licensing fees in an amount not to exceed, what's the updated total?
The updated total is $1,704.
Thank you. Is this, whose item is this?
It's mine.
Okay, go ahead, Jackie.
Okay, this resolution authorizes the city to sponsor the Sunnyside Arts Commission's rock painting and movie in the park events. They have tentative dates of April 7th and April 9th. One will be at South Hill Park and one will be at Central Park. The Arts Commission did discuss seeking community sponsors to offset the costs. However, tonight we're asking council to approve the full city contribution amount not to exceed $1,704 to ensure the events can move forward as planned. It is important to note that the Arts Commission does not currently have an adopted budget, so this expenditure will require a budget amendment, which the Finance Department will include in the first budget amendment of the year. Deputy Mayor Hart is part of the Arts Commission, and between her and I, we can answer your questions.
Thank you for that, Jackie. Any questions? Go ahead, Counselor Galvan.
So I guess the conversation was the possibility of looking for sponsors. What was the outcome of those conversations? That we're not going to try to look for sponsors?
Yes, they will try to look for sponsors. This discussion just happened last Friday. So It's very early in the stages of planning, but we just wanted to make sure to, if they don't get sponsors, that council is willing to fund the entire project as is. The only cost that I talked to Monica before the meeting is that the employee hourly rate does not include benefits, so that will just be a little bit more. So, but hopefully that's staff cost.
You have a follow-up question to that, Councilor?
Yeah.
Levi? Okay. go
So is there any talks of teaming up, I guess, with any organizations? I know that there's in the past, there's been a couple organizations that had movie in the parks before. Is there a way to team up with them and have those conversations started?
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
One of I think the only ones that have had movies in the park, and Chief Lehman can help me with this, have been the National Night Out. I don't recall we've had any other movies in the park. And so those have been pretty much sponsored by, I'm not sure how they're sponsored, but National Night Out has money that comes out from someplace. I forget. Can you help us with that, Chief?
Yes. So National Night Out, the city used to have a budget for National Night Out. The last one we did, the police department, the police foundation did one about a year ago. One other thing, looking at this cost breakdown that I want to bring up is the park rental. If this is a city-sponsored event, that's something that the council can waive. I mean, it's only talking about $72 of the cost, but that's something that you guys can discuss. But yeah, the police foundation paid for the last movie in the park. We bought the movie license and the equipment and everything.
The park rental fee is included in this $1,704.
So it could, if I may, so the council could waive that. And it was $72. And I did have a conversation earlier this evening with the chairman, Ms. Gutierrez. Gutierrez, and she was hopeful that the council would see its way fit to sponsor. This is their first activity of the new year since we've had the Arts Commission. It's been kind of iffy for the last several years, but they're really gung ho, and they want to do this during spring break. And I think it's a great way to kick off spring break for Sunnyside, and also to get the word out about that the Arts Commission has a series of things that they're going to be doing. I don't know that we talked with Madam Hofstetter over here about where we might find that $1,000. Did we do that?
Yes, I talked to her, and that's my comment about that this isn't budgeted. It would just require a budget amendment. Monica can comment on that as well.
Okay. Do you want to go ahead and comment now? I know there's a question down on the dais.
I'm looking at my paperwork and I see it 1,354. Did we change it to 1,704?
Yes, there should be a copy in front of you that has the amended resolution. If you look at the resolution, it says 1,704. Yes.
Okay, I'm looking at it now.
Yes.
I have the other ones.
Yes, when I prepared the agenda materials, I hadn't heard back from the licensing company. And so today they reached out to me, and the 550 is the discounted rate for 2 events.
So what made it change? What was that you made it change from the 13 to the 17?
The first number that I provided was based on what we've paid in the past. Parks and Recreation had hosted a movie in the park, which was probably 2 years ago, and that was the number that I based it off of. And so now the rate is $550 per event.
Jackie, I have a quick question on that. Does that 550 include the equipment needed?
No, that does not. The Sandra Cesati is part of the Arts Commission, and she has a blow-up screen.
Okay. The police foundation owns one as well. That's why I was just going to say if we partnered, we have a screen and speakers and a microphone and everything that would work. So, but if she has it, that's fine.
Yes, she has it. If for some reason it doesn't work out, then we'll make sure to contact you.
know that we have a backup.
Yeah.
That's great.
Any other comments before I refer to Ms. Hofstetter?
Actually, I do have a comment. I'm kind of thinking of a suggestion. We're looking at if we provide a vendor that's willing to put some of the money up for that, would that be a possibility to do that?
Yes, of course. So the Arts Commission will start contacting businesses for sponsorship. But tonight, we're just asking that if we can't find sponsors, then the council approves the entire. But you can also, the other option is that this can come back. I just wanted to make sure, come back to council. If you want them to reach out to sponsors now and then council take action on the full amount, you can do that later. I just wanted to make sure to bring it before you before I left.
Thank you, Jackie.
Mhm.
Any other questions?
Just
Is it your turn now?
So this would require a budget amendment. This is something that would have to be done during the time that all the other, few of the budget amendments that are due to come out. I would put it in there with them. I'm gonna try and shoot before the spring break then to get that in there and do a little calculating. It's not a huge amount, so I don't foresee us being able to move that from one of the current slots. But since we have a platform, I would definitely encourage our community to reach out and do a little asking.
Thank you. Go ahead, Councilor Goodwin.
I do appreciate everything that the Arts Commission is doing right now, and especially with them not meeting the past 2 to 3 years. This is a great event. This is good for the community. I like to see this as a last resort. Maybe bring it back. It would maybe encourage or motivate the Arts Commission or even community members to step forward and cover the cost. And if we don't have it, then we could always bring it back and get it fully funded before the event.
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
And when I talked with the chairman of the Arts Commission earlier this evening, she said that they were going to be looking at several different community places where they hope maybe organizations like you had mentioned before, and also other folks that might have some money for something like this. One of the other things that we wanted to check too is checking and seeing what the city has in way of supplies at the community center from other projects, last year's projects for, I think that, we should do an inventory of the things that are left over at the community center anyways for regarding arts and crafts kinds of materials from previous programs, summer programs.
And I had checked with Mary and she said that they didn't have any paint or paintbrushes left.
What do they do with them? Eat them?
Paint dries up, brushes
Maybe so.
don't hold up
I-
their
Yeah, they don't hold up as
conditions.
well.
Any
But
other-
I was hoping that we would have, but that was one of the things that we were looking at as well.
Any other comments? Go ahead, Councilor Sasati.
See if you can hear me. By when do you need to know or have a decision in order to do the amendment?
I would do the amendment before you guys held the event.
Okay.
So we have several weeks to run out there and get some money. $1,000 sounds like a lot of money, but if people are interested in this program, they'll cough it up, I think. And it's a great program. It's for children, it's for families, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's not just for kids, it's for families too. So just a way to have a nice spring break activity,
And it's a free event.
and it's a free event.
Is tabling available for that?
Table. Oh, if that is a desire.
You want to table this item or do you want to have?
No, what I'm
tables?
saying is like for vendor, not like
Oh,
using different, like tabling for different agencies that want to be able to bring some of their material to be able to put it out there for the families.
I think that's a good idea. They've done that at various events. And we can send a message back to them and have them consider that.
Sponsors could probably
Yeah,
put a table out
Yeah.
themselves if they wanted to sponsor the event.
Mhm.
they always have good stuff too. Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to say thank you guys for considering it. The commission has worked really hard on coming up with some ideas that I'm sure you'll see some more from them as we move through the summer. But this is our first big one, and then want to be as encouraging as possible to them, so.
Is there any other comments or? I just want to make sure that we're within timeline. We have a little bit over a month for the Arts Committee to do some fundraising. If that's the next step, to make sure that the expenses are covered. And Monica, I know our time with you is also limited. So going back to Councilor Sati's question, I just want to make sure that sometimes it's better be safe than sorry and maybe approve this before. And then with the hope of the Arts Committee to be able to cover it, which I'm sure we can get to. There's a lot of community members and organizations and businesses that are always willing to step up. But I just want us to be mindful of that. There is a timeline and they're trying to get everything situated before the 7th and the 9th. So if this is going to come back, we make sure that the Arts Committee brings it back in a timely manner so we're not missing anything. Go ahead, Councilor Galvan.
How often is the Arts Commission meeting? I guess, are you planning on meeting a little bit more often from here until the event?
I think there's one more meeting. I can't remember the date right now. One moment.
We usually have been meeting on Friday.
Of every
I think
month?
it was the 20th of March is their next meeting.
So, yeah,
The March.
that's kind of cutting it close.
Yeah.
Yes. March 20th.
It is cutting it close, but
So you have the option of either approving this, you can approve it at a lower amount, or you can table this for a future discussion.
go ahead, Councilor Dolan.
Question, where are the rocks coming from?
Don't know.
I don't see them on the,
One of the commissioners said that they knew a place. Do you remember that, Deputy Mayor? That
Yeah, but I didn't want to reveal the place because it might be secret. I don't know. Where the rocks are hidden, I'm not sure entirely.
how big are they?
I don't know. They're just
These are
palm
little
size.
kids,
They're
right?
they're just palm size,
Let's not tell anybody where the rocks are.
We don't want to know. We don't know where the rocks are.
So we have two options here. We can motion to approve the resolution as is with the amendment for the updated total and just have this covered in the case timelines are off with the hopes and manifestations that there will be fundraising here to cover all expenses. Or y'all want to either amend this or to table it and bring this back at another during another session, knowing that their next meeting is the 20th of March, which is probably only like a week or two from that event.
Yeah, not even. It's,
A week.
yeah.
Mm. So,
Madam,
Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
what I'd like to do is entertain a motion to approve half of the amount at this time. And understanding so half of that, 700 or 1,000, what was that again?
$704.
$704. If this council could see its way clear to fund half of the amount for this Arts Commission project.
I'll second that.
we need a motion.
That was making that in
Oh,
the form of a motion.
Okay, you said I entertain a motion. Okay, so.
No, I was
you-
making the motion.
Okay. Okay. So we have a motion by Deputy Mayor Hart and then a second by Councilor Chavez. Is there any other discussion or comments on this? No? Hearing none, I'll go ahead and take us through a roll call. Councilor Dolan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Councilor Galvan,
Yes.
Councilor Cesati,
Yes.
Councilor Chavez,
Yes.
and I too vote yes. Motion carries. Good job with everything happening over at the Arts Commission.
Thank you. They're really an outstanding, energetic group of folks.
Can't wait to attend these events. Okay, so then we're moving on to the next item on the agenda. That's E 2026 first quarter hiring freeze. Approve a resolution establishing a release of staffing freeze for the listed positions and authorizations to refill existing budgeted positions that are currently filled and become vacant during the freeze period. Is this,
Explain that one.
This will be,
is this
this will be
Monica?
this, correct.
So on December 29th, the city council expressed a need to establish a temporary hiring freeze for all city departments during the first quarter of the fiscal year. The hiring freeze restricts the creation of new positions and any position not currently filled. The resolution explicitly exempt certain essential positions and clarifies that positions already authorized and funded in the fiscal year of 2026 budget could be filled if they had become vacant. So right now, due to the current positions that we are needing that are vacant and we have not filled, we're requesting that we can advertise for the development technician. That would be a role that assists with the building and recreation. It would be in Hector's department. And we also would like to advertise lifeguards. Right now, Prosser is currently already advertising theirs. And so we would like to start doing that as well. So that way we can make sure we fill our positions this summer. And then we're also, to kind of coincide with the classification and compensation, requesting the finance supervisor role be added back to the city budget. And then in that classification and compensation section as well, there's a title change to one of the positions where it was previously considered an accounting assistant 2 position and is now considered a staff accountant position.
Okay, question. I
Question.
think your hand was up first. Counselor Chavez?
Go ahead.
So could you give us the definition for the development tech? What would he be doing? What would it entail?
So the development technician would be helping me out, obviously, keeping my grants in line, making a binder, obviously, and then helping me out throughout the day, because we need to get to the community center where we have pickleball. Now that money needs to be picked up every day. As of right now, I am lacking. I'm very stretched thin as everybody else is. But they'll be helping me out with also the pools. We do have a place on our side that Jafet help us be able to take pictures for passes for swimming. So the swim team will be, obviously having a full-time pass. They'll be helping us out with that, directing the phone calls, a centralized place where there'll be phone calls and then directing them to the proper personnel. And then they would be helping, obviously, in the front, taking payments and answering any questions if need be. And so.
So I have a question also in regards to our lifeguards. I believe we had already made a budget for being able to have the pool open. Did we only did that for the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Correct.
Okay, so if we already have that, so we should be doing that for getting our lifeguards already, because we have the money, obviously. Our city paid the tax fees for it already, correct? Okay, so
Tax fees.
when they did the tax hike for the pool.
So that only happens within the previous years or the year it happens. So that stopped as of last year. So this year we don't have the 2%. We won't be having the 2% increase for the pool tax this year.
Okay, so I know Prosser's already doing the hiring for the lifeguards, and I was thinking, I talked to a community member in regards to what our schools used to use the pool, and we lost that revenue last year, correct?
No, they did use the pool last year.
They did use the pool?
Correct. And I've already had phone calls with Chief Kamaikan, and the middle school to say requesting that they set a time for them to be able to be using it.
I thought I thought they didn't use it because we didn't have the lifeguards at that time.
Not to my knowledge, last year they came in and they used the pool.
I'll do some clarification with the president, the one that's running. So I'm thinking, yes, I think we need to be able to start with the lifeguards because we're getting our kids going to Prosser, going to other, and I think we as a city should be able to hire some of our own kids to be able to run some of our pools here and instead of sending them out somewhere else.
Correct.
I think Deputy Mayor, and then I'll go to you, Council Member.
Oh, right. Well, in that development tech, the definition that you used over, Monica, what was that again?
They were covered the recreation and the planning department. So what it does is it helps with the planning and then it also covers recreation. As we know, the seasonal year is only going to be during the summer. So the planning department part of it would be assisting Hector with his project binders and grant management. So currently we need to be able to keep track of the expenses that are going against grants. And so those binders are created as project binders and they're kept in public works in the planning area and development area. So all those binders and helping assist with keeping all the records straight and also reporting.
Am just, in addition, am I right in believing that the rest of, during the summer, that development tech is actually going to be working through with the parks and the pool?
Correct.
And it being the pool manager, it sounds like, with taking care of,
No, so the pool manager needs to be on scene.
okay.
So we will be offering,
Is that something you're doing out of the lifeguard?
correct.
Okay.
And then also with the development technician will also be helping, obviously building with Corey and Omar, and obviously helping us out on planning permits also, and if we need to help out with plans, speaking to Joseph, HLA, they can help us make documents on if we don't have the time for it.
Okay. Sounds like a complicated two-part job.
It kind of is on that side of the building. So City Hall is split in half. One side of it's going to be your finance utility billing, and the other side of it's going to be where currently the permit technician sits. And the development technician will also be on that side. So that way they can take all the reservations for the parks. They can take reservations for the pools. They can take reservations for the community center. And so that's kind of the role for that person to be kind of the face over on that side of the building, as well as going to the community center daily and going to the pool daily to be able to take the deposits to the bank.
Okay. There's another question by Councilor Galvan, and then I'll go to you.
Just a little bit of clarification on Chavez said it was 2024 that the schools weren't able to use it because the pump broke down. I think that was the year that you might be thinking the schools weren't using it. Going to the development technician, in past conversations with past city manager, and then also the public works director that was there, I had brought up the issue of a pool safety plan that they never provided me one.
I thought I did because you had asked me.
It was that was more of the manual for the lifeguards. So the pool safety plan is something that the Yakima Health District requires us to update. So you might want to check that out.
And I'd be happy to.
And I think it's something that, the development technician could possibly help you with that, correct?
Correct. And I will actually start on looking on that, trying to get some information, and that way I can get it back to you.
Okay.
Other questions, Councilor Chavez?
So Hector, you're still running with the poll, right? Who's the one that's running the poll, in charge of the poll?
I guess, yes, I am. Yeah.
So the individual that we hire would be working under you, correct? And how long would would he or she be working?
A year round. The only problem, during the pool time is obviously the summertime where they'll be doing a little bit more than what is expected of them. But he or she will be, obviously taking care of the community center, We have a lot of people that call in for reservations, and keeping track of all the stuff that we need. Obviously, like Miss Count or Deputy Mayor Hart had asked for, whether we have materials there. We found the air mattress that were obviously don't not donated, but bought back in when we had the unhoused personnel that were able to go into there, and they would have blankets, obviously air mattresses and stuff like that, an inventory that would be able to keep up on it. So they will be busy. Is not that they won't. They would be busy year round, and then especially with helping me with my grants, my projects that are out there. I know Corey and I are working on ordinances. They can reread and review them, and then obviously send them out to Julie, our attorney, to make sure that we are on the right path.
So in other words, it's full-time.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have a job description for that.
Yes, and obviously it'll keep our side of the door open. Corey, myself, Omar, Debbie, have been working diligently, keeping that door open. Because I know when I started here, that was a major concern, that side was never open. Moving forward, we've always made sure someone's around to keep that door open and locked, unless it's lunchtime.
One more thing is, do you have a job description for the individual that's going to be taking over that?
I am working on it right now. I have received many comments on what needs to be on there, but I want to review it and make sure I have everything in place.
And you'll be able to send it to council.
Oh, most definitely.
Thank you.
The job description is already existing. It's just that they're going to update it, and to update it, it has to go to the union because the union has to approve it. It can't just be updated and provided. So that once the union approves it, we can present it to council, because they have to agree that it's within the same wage classification. Because if it's outside the wage classification, then they have to then negotiate the position.
Thank you for clarifying that, Ms. Hofstetter. I think I saw another hand. Councilmember Dolan, did you have a comment? Question? Oh, Councilmember Galvan.
Real quick, who held that position before? The most recent, do we know?
The development technician?
Yeah.
No one. I had an assistant administrator, but oh yeah, that's right. We did have Louis.
Was it Louis' title?
Yes, Luis Valdez.
Okay.
I forgot that he came over to us.
I have a quick one to add to it. So I'm sorry.
She
I'm
had a-
sorry, Julia.
Yeah, I just was wanting to make sure we didn't miss in the list of, while we're fleshing out the technician, but you also said that there was some in the finance. How are you doing that? It was going to be a finance, you had two different titles.
So we changed one of the titles. We no longer have the assistant, accounting assistant 2 position. We changed that to a staff accountant so that it's actually an accounting position.
Can, on that, may I, on that same level, you're just looking currently for a staff accountant then?
No, that the title just changed. We have that position actually already interviewing. That position was one that the person is not there any longer, so we're replacing it per the freeze. If somebody that was within a position left, we could replace that person. So that's what we're doing currently. The one that we're asking for is the finance supervisor.
So that was my confusion. I thought there were two in there, so thank you.
So go ahead, Councilor Chavez.
I'm good now.
All right, so
Any other comments? Did you have a comment, Deputy Mayor?
I was just saying, this is, since we're nearly at the end of the first quarter, end of March will be at the end of our first quarter. And how soon are you looking to have these various positions filled? And you're still working on the description of the one job, right? And you've changed the name of a different job.
That one's already being advertised and we've been doing interviews for the one that the name changed on.
For the accountant. job.
Correct. The other ones we would like to advertise right away, so that way the pool can get advertised immediately. We don't want to lose any of our hopeful candidates to our neighboring towns. So that one we're trying to list immediately, as well as the finance supervisor due to needing finance staffing currently.
Okay. So what is the desire of council? Can I entertain a motion?
You entertain. That's right, I forgot. I'd like to make authorize a resolution establishing release of the staffing freeze for listed positions and authorization to refill existing budgeted positions that are currently filled and become vacant during the freeze period.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Just real
Go
quick,
ahead, Councilor Galvan.
So I know why we created a freeze, right? Because we're in this financial mess. And if I remember correctly, we weren't gonna unfreeze them until we had some sort of financial, for the first 3 months, so we could get an update of where we're at. But I also understand the importance of filling these pool, positions and the finance supervisor and, the development technician. But I just ask staff not to forget about that March, financial stuff that you guys were gonna bring back to us. Just because we're unfreezing these positions doesn't mean that,
The finance positions are to get assistance to be able to work on these things.
And that's mainly the reason, if staff is still committed to bringing back that report back in March, I'm totally for this. We do need the pool. Community wants the pool. The community needs these different positions. So, that's all I got.
And on that, the development technician it will take a while. I mean, obviously, but by the time I get everything finalized to the union, to Tony Minky, it hopefully, where I'm hoping is to have everything done by March. By then, we can advertise and then we can have all the, finances and the correct amount of what we can do.
And come March or April, I'll be remembering staff about that report, and kind of hard for me to forget stuff.
Totally understandable.
Right.
There'll probably be many reminders.
Yes. So I'll go ahead and initiate the roll call since we have a motion and it's been seconded, unless there's other discussion. Okay. So Councilmember Dolan,
I'm gonna abstain.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Councilor Galvan,
Yes.
Councilor Sasati,
Yes.
Councilor Chavez.
Yes.
Okay. I too vote yes and agree with Councilor Galvan that we should be updated on the financials come the end of the first quarter. I think it's going to be really important to keep oversight on that. Okay, so with that, the motion carried. So this takes us into our next item on the agenda, which is the 2026 classification and compensation schedule added today. So adopt an ordinance amending the 2026 classification and compensation schedule. I'll give this back to you.
Yeah, that's just changing the title of that one position and then putting the finance supervisor in there.
Do we have a copy of it that you could share of the changes?
It should be, and you should have, did they get a copy, Jackie?
Did I put one in? No, I don't think I did.
Oh,
I didn't print it out. We realized right before the meeting that that one did not make it into the packet. So that's why it was amended and added. Let me put it on the screen and I can email it to you all.
Thank you.
Hold on right here. Let's start from page 1. Did you make changes to page 1? No, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
No,
page
the only,
2.
the only changes should be that red right there where I added the one position. And then if you go up, I think, where's the,
Mayor, if I may. So it's not showing the amounts on that. Do we know what the amounts are gonna be?
oh, they didn't get added back into that?
Nope.
If you look at the bottom of page 1, where it says office clerical Teamsters positions, staff accountant is listed there with the steps. And then if you go down at the bottom of page 2, division supervisors,
There it is,
finance
yeah.
supervisor is listed, but there's no amounts. I don't know if they would fall under the same as the court administrator supervisor amounts. I don't know. That's a question for you, Monica.
I believe they are the same. I will double check it though.
Okay, Deputy Mayor?
It wouldn't be more.
No. No,
It would be,
no, these are all
Standard rate.
union, yeah, these are union negotiated and this year has already been approved and negotiated. So they're going to be actually doing, I believe, negotiations for the supervisors. I think this year. Isn't it? Is
Yes.
it? It's this year.
So, yes, we're supposed to be negotiating with the supervisors this year. And we haven't had any dates due to, Teamster,
manager.
city manager and the Teamsters are, obviously doing their thing in Yakima.
Councilmember Goodman.
Can you go without this being voted on just for a week or two for our next meeting, just because, there's no numbers there and right now we're just speculating that.
I won't be available to do any interviews after that in person.
It's just, it's hard for me to vote on something that,
doesn't have a
Could we
number.
pull
Yeah.
up the numbers?
I'm pulling the numbers up.
Okay.
I think it would ease my mind to know what the actual number is going to be there. I don't like to see things kind of laying out there. Sorry, I spoke in turn a bit, but that's my feeling on it.
I'm trying to pull the previous one up to see if it's the same exact numbers as the one above it or below it.
He said,
Oh, okay.
and just so you're aware, Mayor, although those positions were not part of the freeze anymore, you will not be able to hire anybody until you approve this classification and compensation schedule.
Okay.
This is like your Bible of staff. Can't do anything outside of it.
Jackie, do you remember when we had the previous approval on was it in October?
The last one should have been,
It would
in
have been,
December when the budget was approved.
The
The
one
very
before.
very last meeting of December. That's on the, if you go onto the city website, city meetings, go to 2025. It's the very last meeting that's listed.
The one before that is the one I'm looking for.
It's in October.
What I thought.
It is ordinance 2025-10.
I'm pulling it up now.
My Adobe for some reason doesn't like to work, so I just have to wait for it to, there we go.
That one doesn't have it either.
I think the last time you had a finance supervisor was Delilah, so 2023,
Oh. That's scary.
2024.
Okay, for the 2025 wage scale, which is up through the end of their contract, finance supervisor, and if somebody wants to write these down, I'm looking at their union contract, was 7604.49 at step A, 7984.72 at step B,
Okay.
8396 at step C, 8803.15 at step D David, and then 9243.31 at step E. And that was for the 2025 wage scale in their union contract, and that was for finance supervisor. Those were monthly rates.
Could you repeat the B step?
I'm sorry, what step was that? D David?
B
Keith
is,
Laitman, could you just go through all of them one more time?
Yeah, so finance supervisor, step A, was $7,604.49. Step B was $7,984.72. Step C was $8,383.96. Step D was $8,803.15. And step E, as in Edward, was $9,243.31.
thank you.
79. 92. Does this clarify?
Chief, is this, can you look at my screen? Is this what you're referring to? This is the last CBA we have.
So that's 2023.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
show.
scroll down a little further on that. I can't see your screen, but let me bring it back up.
2025,
more.
2020.
That's 25.
25 was the last year of that. 25 was the last year of that contract.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
they're up for
don't-
negotiations now.
So at the 9,000 is where they're step E, okay.
Right. So they're working without a contract. So it's going to depend on the COLA that they receive during negotiations. This number will increase for 2026. What that is, I don't know yet.
Oh, goody.
But all of those positions could potentially change. I mean, all those positions, a court administrator, that whole section that's in the
Yeah, that's right.
council packet. Let me go back to the council packet.
243.
Sorry, I scrolled up to the top here. Let me scroll back to the bottom. So that division supervision or supervisors, that whole section is working without a contract, and those rates are probably going to change.
4% COLA.
Mm.
Correct. And like I stated prior, we don't have any dates right now. Obviously, with the union dealing with what they're dealing with in Yakima, and us without a city manager, and we can reach out to them and see if we can get some dates. And obviously,
Hector, that's all handled through Tony Minky. We don't set the dates with the
we
union.
don't.
No, Tony Minky will take care of that. He negotiates all our contracts. Is currently who's handling our contracts.
So he can take care of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Council, any follow-up questions? Go ahead, Deputy Mayor.
I'm sputtering here a little bit, but what I'm trying to think of is that if we're looking at hiring somebody right in the next, that one's being advertised, right? So we're looking at any of these steps here
Normally somebody is hired at
at the
the
last,
step A or the step B.
yeah, so
Unless
we
they
would,
had substantial government they would have to have some substantial experience to be above those first.
so you would start them at the A step,
A or B, yeah.
A or B,
Just depending
just
on their-
depending on their experience
Correct.
and and knowledge.
Correct. You can go to C or D or E, but again, you would have to have the substantial experience, and you would have to be coming in with
Quite a lot.
yeah, quite a lot.
That's good. And I would think that that would be the same for the staff accountant as well.
Correct.
So they would start at a step A or so forth. I think that I could see my way clear to accept that changes for those, to accept the classification schedule.
Yeah, we'd have to
Amendment.
approve this if there was going to be any hiring.
Yeah.
Like Becky said, it is our Bible. So what is the desire of council? Is there a motion?
Well, I will make a motion to accept, or I guess it's adopt an ordinance amending 2026 classification and compensation schedule.
Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Deputy Mayor Hart, second by Councilor Galvan. Is there any other discussions around this item, comments, questions? Okay, I'll go ahead and initiate the roll call. Councilor Dolan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hart,
Yes.
Councilor Galvan,
Yes.
Councilor Sasati,
Yes.
Councilor Chavez.
Yes.
Okay, I too vote yes, motion carries. All right, thank you, Chief Lehman, for assisting with that. Appreciate it. Okay, moving on here to items from council members. Item A under this is mayor appointments for boards and commissions. So Jackie, was this emailed to the council?
Yes, it was emailed to council and a copy placed at each seat.
Okay, so the Rules Committee met on Friday afternoon to go through applications. And there are still some vacancies, some applications that we didn't get for, I believe, the Planning Commission, LTAC. We still need someone or folks to apply for the youth. For Parks and Recs, there is a youth position for that, as there is a youth position for the Arts Commission. The ones that we did entertain were the Climate Resiliency Advisory Board, and in accordance to the SMC 2.50, I would like to appoint Cody Driscoll to the Sunnyside Climate Resiliency Advisory Board. And this, of course, is subject to council approval. Cody does have a background in geology, geoscience and geology. I believe he has a bachelor's degree on that, in that, and he had applied since August 2025. So it was one of the first applications that we still had in line for this committee. And I believe his requirements, for me at least, justify his appointment to this advisory board.
Mayor, if I may, I guess if you can help me understand what I understand he does have the qualifications. He could be part of this resilience committee, but on his application, when he applied for the housing authority, he put down as being available only in the evenings. And if I understand correctly, the climate resilience advisory team meets at noon. We already have a member that hasn't attended these meetings because he doesn't have time, or whatever. But if Mr. Driscoll is stating on his application that he isn't available until the evening, what makes you think that he's gonna have time at noon?
That's a good question. I communicated with him, and we did to make sure that he would be available, because I believe the y'all are meeting from 2 to 3:30 monthly on Tuesdays.
Correct.
And we did see that. So we just wanted to make sure that he would be able to participate, given the time frame. He agreed that he could. He said that if with enough notice, he would make sure that he would deal with his job and make sure that he had some pre-approval to be released earlier to attend these meetings. So
Okay.
it seemed like there would be no impediment to him participating. But yes, that was flagged. That's a good question, and he was reached out to, and that was clarified.
All right, thank you.
Mhm. Go ahead, Councilmember Dolan.
Jory Anderson was asked several times about being able to change the time of the meeting so that he could make it to those meetings. And I think he'd be a big asset to that group anyway. Was there a specific reason why they've not had the meeting changed to a different time of day?
There actually is a explanation, and Hector, would you
So,
explain?
When we had met the first time, everybody was wanting to meet at noon. Then it got moved over to 2 o'clock for a particular reason. Joseph was obviously somebody who needs to be there, and those times were more available for him to obviously be met at that time. Actually, Joe Anderson did reach out, and he did state that he was not in the country on returning back. Obviously, he went and helped out
80.
Haiti, yes, with the hurricane. So I was never contacted by Mr. Anderson at any time about asking moving the time. So
We are unaware of that.
yes, I wasn't unaware of that.
So the justification for, just to recap, the justification for keeping it at the time that y'all are keeping it is because HLA is able to meet during those times.
Correct. It was the times that he was more available
He has, yeah.
Okay.
because he, with all this climate resilient, we aren't the only city that he works with. He's also works with other cities.
Has he been asked about whether or not he could change his schedule? I mean, I
Well-
see Stephanie out here tonight.
And I'd be more than happy to ask him and get you guys an answer. I can reach out to him tomorrow and then obviously email the whole council on his answer.
And isn't the responsibility of the chair?
I was just going to say, we have talked about this numerous times with Joseph when we did talk about moving the meeting. And the reason that that happens to Tuesday happens to work for him and for our committee to meet. We meet on the third Tuesday. And we moved it down to 2 o'clock. We wanted to meet earlier in the afternoon. Unfortunately, due to Mr. Calhoun's schedule, and also he has us, and then he turns around and he has Toppenish. So after he leaves us in Sunnyside, he's off to Toppenish to work with their committee. So yeah, that we've talked about it several times with him, and this just happens to just kind of where we pigeonholed in. And so it's worked well for the other members of the committee to meet when we are. So and it works well for Mr. Calhoun, and that's been his stance all along since we started meeting, I think, in November.
Correct.
And any other comments? Otherwise, I'd like to entertain a motion to appoint Cody Driscoll to the climate advisory team, climate resilience advisory team. This seems to change every now and then from advisory board to team.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Deputy Mayor Hart, and then I got a second from Councilor Galvan. Is there any further discussion on this? Otherwise, we can go ahead and initiate a roll call. Okay, I'll just start from the end. Councilmember Chavez,
Yes.
Councilor Cesati,
Yes.
Councilor Dolan,
No,
Councilor Galvan,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Hart.
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion carries.
Mayor, before you move on, on behalf of the Arts Commission, we'd like to bring up an item. Deputy Mayor, if you'd like to bring it up.
Right.
Deputy Mayor?
We will have another vacancy on the Arts Commission. I believe that's the one you're referring to.
Yes, we'd like council's
Counselor,
direction on.
Counselor, Commissioner Chase Reef has been unable to attend. I think he's gotten really busy with his own business, so he's not been able to attend the Arts Commission meetings. We do have applications left that already have some applications, but if there are other people who might want to apply for the Arts Commission, we'd look forward to that. But he has asked to, we need to remove him based on his personal activity.
Yes.
He's unable to attend.
Due to his lack of attendance, and he hasn't communicated with staff or
As
the
well.
commission.
Mhm.
We're asking or the chair of the commission and the rest of the commission has asked that council consider that seat vacant so that it can be advertised and filled. So if
We need a motion?
Yeah, could I entertain a motion to remove member Chase Reef from the Arts Commission due to unexcused absences? Is that correct, Deputy Mayor?
Yeah, I think that was.
he did receive 2 excused absences just because the commission had just started. And so they were hoping that we kept trying. I think there was a few of us that have already reached out to him.
Numerous times.
And so this last time they asked for action.
Okay. And lack of communication. Okay.
Mhm.
Could I entertain a motion?
I'll make that motion to
Okay.
remove.
There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
A second.
Any further discussion on this item? Go ahead, Councilor Galvin.
Well, I think we need to be fair too. And maybe it's a different discussion, but there is 4 other applicants for the climate resilience, and we do have that one applicant that hasn't been able to show up, so I have.
We're looking at that.
So you'll look into that, Deputy Mayor?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know which one you're referring to.
I'll go ahead and initiate a roll call. Start at the end. Councilor Chavez?
Yes.
Councilor Sasaki?
Yes.
Councilor Dolan?
Yes.
Councilor Galvan?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor?
Yes.
I too vote yes. Motion carries. And he'll be notified.
Yes, we'll send him a letter and I'll also try calling him again.
Thank you. Okay.
Mhm.
And then before we move on to item B, council request status support report. So get ready for that, Chief Lehman. I do want to announce 2 other appointments to the Housing Authority Board. And they too have been contacted and they both have accepted their appointments. And because this is solely a mayoral appointment, we won't need a vote from the council. And the first person that I reached out to was Sharon Templin. And the second person that was reached out to, and she's from Mapton. The second person that I reached out to was Sandra Benitez, who lives in Grandview. And I believe as long as there are housing authority locations in each municipality, they are able to serve. And so we've diversified that a little bit. Again, they have both accepted their appointments. One thing that I will follow up to add, because I did have a conversation with Councilmember Galvan, that per the RCW, the Housing Authority Board is required to give an update on activities from the previous year, and I believe that has not happened.
We haven't had one.
So I will make sure that I reach out to the right person to make sure that council is receiving those updates per the RCW. And I will hand that over to you, Chief Lehman, for item B, council request. Oh, actually, this is council, not staff. So council request status report. That's you, Jackie.
I'll bring it up and interim city manager Rob can review it.
Do you have it up, Jackie? I'm sorry, I can't see.
Oh, that's okay. The first item is the Yellowstone Trail.
Okay, I'll
Hector, do
turn.
you have an update?
Yes, so I've been contacted by Scott Tedrick, who is now the lead person in the Yellowstone Trail Park or Yellowstone Trail Commission. Obviously, I do believe he stated on here, emailing me back saying that with the originals passed away, he is following up with a lot of requests that have been fallen behind with them. So he is gonna be sending me a update on who we can contact for the sign and if the sign even is on its way or not. So as soon as I hear from him, I can give the updates to the council.
Just by way of following up on that, since that's one of my favorite projects right now, we have been talking to various car associations about their interest in helping come together with some designs and so forth that we might use for a park. And they do want to put it on their various you know how they have their runs. They have the one that goes down to Bob's Drive-In, and they all sit around and then they would over and play around at the park. So we get some ideas from them of what they might like to see there as far as park amenities. So
And I have been approached by a resident near there that there has been vehicles that have been going in and out of there. I will be working on that with my street department to make sure that that is taken care of, that they no longer be able to go in there and do what they do on the
do what they
road.
do.
So I thank you, Miss. Oh, she's not here.
No,
Miss
she-
Hancock. She's been really.
She keeps an eye on.
Yes, she keeps an eye on it very well, and I appreciate that. I can't get everywhere, but I do appreciate her letting me know.
Yeah.
The next item is temporary vendors without permits.
Yes, and Corey and I are working on that. I believe he was contacting WICA to make sure that everything is, the wording is correct for our insurance purposes and theirs, obviously the temporary vendors. So as soon as we hear back from them, we are able to bring it to a study session so everybody can review it. And then with the council's approval, we can take it to the a regular council meeting.
Right to them.
The next item is farm implement machinery.
Okay, so Jackie just forwarded me an email that has some back and forth between Mr. Bridges and the insurance. And so I've read up on that and I had a couple of questions. So I'm actively working on that, but I don't have I'm trying to get myself up to speed on that one. I touched on it when I was city manager over a year ago. And this issue was just starting. And so I'm trying to get myself up to speed on what's happened over the last year.
The next item is Boys and Girls Club, assigned to Counselor Chavez.
So I got the information for that. I talked to KB Brown with Prosper Boys and Girls Club. He referred me over to meet with their CEO, Brian Ace, because one thing that they do is they have to build a board before you can do anything in regards to that. So a board needs to be done. They will also need to have you need to have board of directors created an approach even before you can start the initial process of it. There is some money that's going to be involved with that. So might be some grants. I'll be talking with Brian in regards to that. So Benton, Franklin counties did provide some grants for that. And you're going to need some donors for it too, because it's a lot of money. So I will be meeting with him tomorrow with Brian, and we're going to be going over that, see what we're looking at in regards to financial and what are the steps so we can be able to bring that here. because we also have to have a facility, which I think that we can still use the community center as a facility for it. But there's a lot of loops to it. So I will meet with him tomorrow and kind of get an idea of what we need to go through for that.
Counselor Chavez, is that the CEO you're meeting with tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. We just FYI, we did get a email from some members of the school board. I think you were on that email. And it was for a meeting to broker a meeting between council and the CEO. So if you're already starting that conversation, I can let them know, or somewhere along the line, some of us can jump in.
Okay.
Waiting for.
I'll see if I can broker it and we can get together and see what we do.
Thank you.
Mhm.
The next item is community center assigned to Public Works.
So, yes, so I was informed that, I am not able to do a contract with the soccer and the church. I did have approval from Mr. Bridges, but apparently I was wrong, and I admit it, and I apologize. I did reach out to the committee of the soccer and to the church and let them know that they are no longer able to use it without going through the proper channels. So right now, that is completed. I met with them. They were very grateful for the time that they even got to use the community center. So I am obviously going to be doing better and updating myself on anything else that I need to know about the community center and how we are going to be moving forward. We'll be in the process of providing hopefully stuff that the kids can do, and obviously working, hopefully I can be involved with Mr. Chavez on the Boys and Girls Club to give the kids something to do. They need something to do after school. They need activities. In my opinion, is why they're bored. So again, I apologize to everyone on the council, and I will be doing a lot better.
Okay.
With that said, now we can see how important it is to open up the swimming pool for these kids. It's very, very important, and I've been a big advocate since before I got on council. That's very huge. We also discussed about a meeting that we're supposed to be having. Did you let the rest of the people that are going to be involved in that meeting know about that meeting?
Yes. The Public Works board meeting is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that meeting is of a concern that came up due to the situation that's going on in Kennewick. I know our attorney Julie Norton will be in the meeting. Joseph Calhoun, who has some knowledge on it, also will be in the meeting. And soon as we are soon as we meet and get all the information, I'd be more than happy to deliver it out to the council via email.
What does this have to do with the community center?
No, it's actually the meeting that we're supposed to be having is the one we talked about. I think you sent me an email for this week, Wednesday.
Yes, that's the one.
What is it?
Can we keep this to council reports, Counselor Chavez?
No,
Or is this really-
No, the one we're talking about is for the Parks and Rec Committee. You sent me an email.
Parks and Rec meeting?
Yeah, I have it
I
here.
thought it was public.
Two different
Public
things.
Works.
Yeah,
Public Works Subcommittee.
yeah, the Public Works Subcommittee that we were a part of.
You are a part of Public Works.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Did I put Parks?
Yeah.
Oh, I did. I thought I put Public Works. I apologize.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go over it.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, the next item is Safari Downtown Building Status, and that is the Community and Economic Development Department.
I can speak on this real quick. So right now, we've all reported back that that's currently in litigation on what's going to move forward with the building. Corey Taylor has asked in a morning staff meeting that be removed from the council status report, just because there's going to be nothing to report on that. If that's approved by council, we can remove it. If you guys want it to stay on there, it can, but we don't have any control over what's going on with that building other than the work on it has stalled.
Okay.
Well, if we,
So-
Madam Mayor, if we're not able to move forward or backwards on that because it is in a private situation there, I make a motion that we go ahead and remove the Safari building off of our status report for the time being.
Is there any objection?
No objection.
Okay, and we can just do that. So there's no objection to it being removed off the list.
The next item is wayfinding signs.
So I am working on with the economic development and seeing what kind of wayfinding they're looking for. Obviously everything has to be through the MUTCD manual to make sure everything is correct and follow the guidelines of what they have for signs. So I will be working with them and Councilor Vasquez to make sure we're on the right path of what they need.
Mayor, if I may, so there was a meeting that a previous city manager had, myself and previous public works director and Jaime in the streets department. So you might want to get Jaime also involved with the wayfinding signs because he was pretty involved with it. We actually got in a Jeep and kind of drove around town to see what type of signs would work where and whatnot. And the project just kind of stalled. But if maybe you could reach out to Jaime,
Yep.
and
I'd
he
be more
could
than happy to reach out.
fill you in.
Yep, I can. I'll reach out to them tomorrow.
The next item is museum status, and that was assigned to Public Works.
So I got the unhome people to move along. So they are out of that property. I will be reaching out to the museum chair and see what we can do about getting it cleaned up and see how we want to progress with it.
Is that the reason why the status report is on there?
I thought it was like seeing what they needed help with to reopen that was my understanding. This item is from Deputy Mayor Hart.
I think I'm sorry to say I haven't checked in with the museum board reference what things they might need. So
And I can reach out to the museum board and see if they need any help. I know I can reach out. Like I said, the biggest thing was the unhomed people that were at the property. So we got them to move along. I met with a friend of theirs. I believe his name is Richard, and he was very helpful.
Right.
So no other update around the museum? I know you're on the board.
I am. And right now there's a lot of sorting and moving from the original museum building out to the new building. And we're doing a little bit of displaying there depending on what the status will be on the older building. Sis Kennard is pretty much in charge of that whole situation. And so probably contacting her would be your best next move on that.
And if I'm able to get her contact information, I'll be more than happy to reach out also.
I think I have that.
That is it for that item.
That's it? Okay. So other reports, announcements, and our questions by council. I'll go ahead and start over at the end there with you, Councilor Chavez.
Want to report that I was over in Tacoma this weekend reffing up for state, and Sunnyside has another young lady who is our state champion. Congratulations to her.
I hear a
Mayor's coin, maybe,
mayor's coin in her future, I would think.
and acknowledgement. Yeah. Way to go, wrestlers. Thank you.
Just,
Go
can I
ahead.
have a question for Ramon? Is she the first,
She's our second one.
second one?
Yes. My mind's blank right now, but
No, I can't remember, because I was thinking there were two, but I couldn't remember the other
what's her name, Anna?
young lady.
Alyssa Graciano. Yes, thank you for reminding me.
That's the one.
Alyssa Graciano,
Yes.
she is our first state champion, is Danica Torres. So I'd like to congratulate. She did also well. She took second. A lot of our Grizzly girls did really good up there. So congratulations to them. They
Congratulations.
did awesome.
Have 'em come visit us.
Congratulations.
Yeah, cool.
Should work on that. Counselor Sasaki.
I just want to say thank you for meeting with the finance committee and explaining. It helped me understand more, so thank you. If you heard that.
Counselor Dolan.
I have nothing new.
Counselor Galvan.
Yeah, so I unfortunately missed that finance subcommittee meeting, and I look forward for the next one. And I think Jackie, is this your last meeting with us?
This is not, you're stuck with me. One more meeting.
Okay, all right. Well, still, thank you for everything that you've done for the city.
Thank you. I'll be assisting you on your March 2nd study session still.
Okay, thank you.
Deputy Mayor Hart.
Yeah, I had a opportunity since we met last time to attend a ribbon cutting out at in the Mid Valley Mall area. There was a new resource for the community as far as finding jobs, finding housing, some finance and educational. So it's really it's a nonprofit organization who's working on that. They've been around for a while, but this first time I'd heard of them. So that was a good thing. But then I missed Jitters grand reopening, and that would have been a good place to go, but it was at 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning and I slept right through it. So I'm going to make a special trip over there. Maybe have to buy a lot of coffee to make up for that. I will say that this past week we've been very, very busy with different meetings. We had the climate resiliency meeting. We had a very, very good meeting there. We are ready to move on to our questionnaire and kind of get that all lined up, and then moving on from there, figuring out how we're going to do the survey. We're planning on having some survey locations where we can have paper survey available to the community. So it'll be easier if they're not able to use the computerized website. We also had the Arts Commission meeting. I was only able to attend a portion of that, but I was very excited about the direction the commission is taking there. Also the Finance Commission this week, or subcommittee, was very good. Thank you, Monica, for giving us a primer and how to look at the different vouchers. I think it'll make it easier for us to, as we go forward, to some of the questions that some of these things are just annually, some of them are monthly, regularly, some of them are, we had a truck run into, had a car accident with something in our, I've already forgot what it was. We had repairs on a,
Yes, on the stormwater.
on the stormwater truck. So those kinds of things, they all kind of add up, and sometimes you don't understand, why are we spending $5,000? I don't worry so much about the $16 items as much as I kind of look at those large ticket items, but because there's three of us, we catch all of them. So, but thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. The Rules Committee, I just want to comment on that, and I don't want to steal the mayor's thunder if she wants to speak on it. We had a really productive afternoon looking at all the applicants and figuring out which ones that we are planning to appoint. There's some we're still waiting back for answers if they want to continue to have their name in the bucket, in the hat, and some that are still considering whether they want to take the job or not. So I'm looking forward to seeing a few more maybe for the Arts Commission, and I know there's some names in there that said that they were interested in that, plus the LTAC, and then the
Parks and Rec.
Parks and Recs, yeah. Can I just mention real quick, with the LTAC, if the areas where we're looking for somebody who collects the tax, and according to the state regulations on that, it can be a motel, hotel, motel. It could be an Airbnb. It can be
RV park.
RV park. Obviously, we'd like to get them back on the LTAC committee. Also, it could be vacation rentals. Was that the other
That
one?
was Airbnb. Yeah, short-term rentals.
Short-term rentals. And so there are more kinds of ways to collect the LTAC money than just the motels. Of course, they're the easiest ones to pick on because they're there. But the RV and the Sunnyside RV Park, we're hoping to maybe convince one of them to come back on the board, because they're also a collector, and that's who we need. We need the collectors. We got plenty of people on the committee who want to take money, who are rewarded with the money, but we need some collectors as well, representatives there. So, anybody who's got an Airbnb that wants to help out the LTAC, we're happy to entertain their application. Thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. And then I have nothing to report today. Upcoming council meetings, I'll give that to you, Madam City Clerk.
Okay, our next meeting is March 2nd, and that is a study session. We will have Attorney Quinn Plant doing the 2026 council roles and responsibilities. And we're kind of leaving that study session just for that item. The next meeting is March 9th, which is a regular meeting. You'll have a discussion on mobile vendors ordinance and consider taking action on the ambulance utility rate and then adopting that fee schedule to include the utility rate. Then after that, March 23rd is taking action on that mobile vendors ordinance. I'm hopeful that we can schedule the council do's and don'ts with WCIA on April 6th after you've taken the one with Quinn. So I will talk to them and confirm that date as well.
Thank you for that, Jackie. Staff reports, I'll hand that over to you, Chief Lehman, if you're still online.
I am. Just one quick question on the March 2nd study session, council roles and responsibilities. I can be there, but do you require staff to be there for that? I was thinking about giving them a night off if they don't have anything on the agenda.
Who is that?
For March 2nd for the study session?
Correct.
Okay.
Who is the rules of do's and don'ts for?
For
For
you,
council.
for
That's for council.
Council?
Yeah, that'll be by Quinn Plant, who used to be our city attorney.
Is there any possibility of maybe some people from the different committees, planning commission, those folks?
Yeah, we can invite
Also attending? Yeah, the chairmans of those
I think
groups,
that'd be a really good idea.
because then, whatever you know, and if you don't know, you don't know.
Julie, you said you've given this training before. Do you think it would be helpful for the chairs to attend?
There might be some limited value in talking just about how to run meetings, but for the most part, this is going to be about your roles and responsibilities via mayoral authority, manager authority, council authority, how you interact with staff, things of that nature. But there could be some little tidbits. I don't know exactly what Quinn's going to prepare or what he's going to present, but there could be some meeting tip information given.
Could we confirm with Quinn? And if there's a section dedicated to that and we want to open it up, it seems like there's no objection from council to do so. Otherwise, it might be a good idea to consider having him or someone else come and do like a presentation for committee or board chairs in the near future. But I don't want the question, Chief Layman's question to get lost. His question was if it's okay to release staff for the March 2nd meeting.
I think it's fine for them not to
I
attend.
think so as well. I have no objection.
Since we will just be having the presentation
That's it.
for council. Okay, you got a yes.
Thank you. Obviously, I'm out of town. I'm sitting in a closet doing this meeting. And so I don't have anything to report myself, but I'll go to Jackie, and then if they want to go down the line, starting with Hector.
Chief Layman, could I, this actually, we had a conversation, Jackie and I had a conversation about making sure that staff get in their items by like the workshop session. So we can do our best. The intention behind all of this is to streamline the meetings as much as we can. So we're not having to be here for hours on end and then having to motion to amend the time and then keeping staff and so forth. So I know that we've been trying to get there, but sometimes we don't make it. But if we can try to get the staff to put most agenda items for the work study, so then we know exactly what we're gonna work on. And I know you mentioned that you're a fan of putting things on the consent agenda if there's no other discussion items around or discussion around it. Once we discuss it, of course.
So let me make sure I got this accurate. So you're asking to make sure the staff's turning their things in a more timely manner?
Yes.
And
Okay.
adding it to the study session so they receive the information at the study session is what she was talking about too.
Yeah.
And I told her that you like that flow as well.
Yeah. Okay. And we can have that conversation when I get back at a
Yeah.
department head meeting.
That sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry, Jackie, if you have anything.
I don't have anything. This will be my last regular meeting. But other than that, I don't have anything.
Thank you, Jackie.
For Public Works, just working with the Department of Ecology Stormwater Capacity Grant. I'll be having with a meeting with HLA, myself and Hugo Morales, who is the lead supervisor for that. I'll also be working with HLA on the seed grant, the 9th and Lincoln lift station. So we're hoping to go into construction on March 18th, which would give us a bid opening for April 8th. We also are putting in the language in the contracts to provide the city with 120 days to award the contract to enable the city to hold bids and wait for the seed to execute a funding agreement. That way we can have the funding prior to the work, and that way it won't hold us up. And then obviously working with the lobbyists, Chief Layman on receiving fundings for the wastewater treatment plant projects. And the water tower and another new well that we're still behind. Thank you.
I don't really have anything additional. I'm just doing finance.
Thank you, Monica.
With IT, we've started some prep work that needs to happen in order for us to implement, Office 365. There's some upgrades that need to happen in order to be able to implement that and not require another password for everyone to remember. So we're working on that. We've also started the work to replace our timekeeping system. That is something that payroll and myself are going to be working on weekly, meeting with the vendor to get that system up and going. And there's, at least for the foreseeable future, there's a lot of work that happens in the background that not too exciting, but we're working on replacing hardware and improving our network that, those are the kind of things and work that only get noticed when something goes wrong. So there is stuff going on there. And we got quite a bit to do there. And that's all I have at this time.
Thank you, Javette.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Chief Layman? before I move on?
No, Mayor.
Okay. Okay, so
Mayor, um, before we go forward, I know executive session is next, but should we have public comment before that?
I was thinking the exact thing, the exact same thing. Yeah, I was going through the packet here. Public comment is after executive session. Is there any objection from council members to move the public comment before we go into executive session?
No objection.
No objection? Okay. Then with no objection, I'll go ahead and call the first name on our list, Jose Luis Cesati, to the podium.
My name is Jose Luis Cesati, 1440 South First Street, Sunnyside. I live right here in Sunnyside for the last 55 years. I feel more better in Spanish. I know you guys speak Spanish too. And in last meeting, Karen Vasquez made some comments, or I don't think this kind of comments is appropriate right here, because that I think los objetivos principales no estaban ahí. Parece que hay más preocupación por lo que dice ah, las redes sociales, lo que dice la gente, que los problemas que nos enfrentamos ahorita. Parece que en algunas cuestiones cada quien trae su propia agenda. Yo les recomiendo que ustedes se cuiden la espalda unos con otros en vez de estar pues hablando unos con otros, que dijiste, que no me hablaste, que esto y lo otro. Yo creo que esas cosas son cosas de niños. Ah, para mí fue falta de respeto también para la comunidad que estaba aquí. En otras palabras también, en otro tema, señor May González, yo lo que sé es de que se hizo una investigación para él, y pues no, parece que todo salió bien. Los comentarios negativos que se han hecho por él o por la otra gente, no sé si ustedes tienen evidencias de esos comentarios o no, están juzgando a una persona nada más por comentarios, la están crucificando sin tener evidencia. En este City Council han pasado al menos 7 u 8 manejadores de la ciudad en los últimos 10 años. Eso quiere decir que hay un problema. Y ese problema yo creo que lo tienen que investigar ustedes. ¿Dónde está el problema? Porque es algo serio. Las decisiones que ustedes toman afectan a nuestra comunidad. Si ustedes hacen malas decisiones, nosotros somos los que venimos pagando esas malas decisiones. Y también les doy una recomendación. Si ustedes están ahí sentados en esa silla por beneficio personal o por promover su negocio, esa silla no es de ustedes. Perdonen si no es mi intención ofenderlos, pero esos son mis sentimientos que yo tengo. Gracias.
Gracias, don Cesati.
Could we have some translation on?
Okay, I tried to get what I could. So he says that it appears that there is more worry about what social media says. And there, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It appears each council member brings their own agenda. He recommends that the entire council support each other and that they stop talking about each other because those things are childish, that there was a lack of respect for those in the community when those comments were made. He also reported that Mike Gonzalez, that there was an investigation on him, and it appears everything came up cleared, and that there was negative comments about him, and that people need to stop judging based off of those comments without providing evidence. The next portion is, in this city council, there have been 7 or 8 managers, and there is a problem. Council needs to identify what the problem is. The council makes decisions and it affects the community, and he recommends that those that are here to have personal benefits, that the council seat is not for them, and he does not intend to offend anybody based on his comments.
Thank you.
Jackie. I hope I captured it all.
You did. Okay. Gracias. Okay, next on the list is Teodora Martinez.
Hello, my name is Theodora Martinez, and I live in the rural Outlook area, which is still within the Port of Sunnyside boundaries. So I'm here to talk about the presentation that was done at the last city council meeting about the homeless and the funding and all of that. It's great, that the county commissioner said that the funding was going to be available to help people in the community, which is great. And I really do hope that they're able to help them with housing and mental health and everything else that they need. However, my concern is more with the people that have addictions, people that have alcoholism. In the community where I work at as a mental health therapist, the issue is that many of the homeless have some type of addiction, and no resource wants to help them other than the treatment center, right? I mean, no one wants to run out to them. No one wants them even in the shelters because of the fact they're under the influence. So my concern is when they were talking about the funding and all of this and everything they want to provide and bringing resources together, the one thing that they didn't look at, which is to me the heart of the problem, but how are you going to deal with those that are living on the street, walking in our streets, that are addicted? Because they are the ones that need the help. And until we solve the issue, the homeless issue is not going to go away. It's not. All across the United States, major cities, we see that all the time. And, as a mental health therapist, I know that they're suffering from trauma. They're suffering from different illnesses. Hello, Moto. Anyway, and so to me, it's like, unless that is dealt with, the homeless issue is not going to stop. And no matter how much money you pour into a community, it's not going to go away. So some of the things that I've heard, I've thought about with other people in my profession is, trying to get people that have been either arrested or somehow in some sort of detention, a voluntary hold, that once they're detox, because they will go to detox if they don't have access, get them right away into talking to someone about possibly getting them into treatment. Because the moment they get released from jail, either by bail or whatever reason, they were clean for a few days and then they go right back to it. And if they're not careful, they can OD because their body cleaned out the original drugs and alcohol, and then they think they can handle it and then they can't. So the other issue too is the fees that they have to pay once they're arrested for this or that and the other thing. And that's not
Time is
just
up.
them.
Time is up, check.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So next on the list, or last on the list actually, is Vicky Ripley. Oh, okay. She forgoes her public comment.
Did she hear you?
Yes, she said she didn't want to do it.
No?
Is that correct? Okay. Okay, so moving on to executive session now, RCW 42.30.1101G to evaluate the qualifications of an applicant for public employment or to review the performance of a public employee. We don't have a time set on this. 15 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and start off with 15 minutes. And we also don't have it on here for if action is expected or not.
And Julie, do you have any items that you want to discuss? Like a different RCW than
No,
what's
not a different
there?
RCW. No.
Okay.
Okay.
Chief Layman, is 15 minutes okay, or do you need less?
Well, I think at least 15 probably, depends on where the discussion goes.
We'll start with 15. Okay, and then Chief, we can talk about the order of the conversation once we're in there. So we'll go ahead and actually, I really need to take a break. Could we call for a 3-minute recess before we go into executive session?
You can call for a recess.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to take a 3-minute recess and then we'll come back to break out for executive session.
And
And in 3 minutes.
my understanding is Dave Zabel should be participating.
You go first, or you want to go first? Okay.
Julie, what did you say? I'm sorry.
I said Dave Zabel should be participating in it as well.
Was he here?
Yeah, he's
Oh,
here.
yeah, he's here. Okay, Dave is
He's been
here.
patiently being here.
I know.
We need a bigger bag there, Hector. A wagon or.
Hi, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. See you at YV Cog sometime.
All right. Live stream is started. Recording is ready. And the waiting room is now back in the main room.
Okay, we are back in session at 9:25. 9:25. We are now officially out of executive session, 9:25. There will be no action tonight. And if there are no objections or anything for the good of the order, I will now adjourn this meeting at 9:26 p.m.
Bye, Julie.
Good night, everyone.